Tales of Myth and Mayhem tell stories for mature audiences. Listener discretion is advised. Please look after yourself. Welcome to Tales of Myth and Mayhem. We are playing Kult, Divinity Lost this evening. The scenario Desert Whispers from the sourcebook Screams and Whispers. I am Mark, I am your storyteller for this evening. We are playing with some wonderful people, especially from the Adventures in Lollygagging, not to discount Levita, of course, because she's awesome. We'll go over the round, introduce ourselves, and then we'll get started right away. So, Melissa, who are you? Who are you playing?
Hi, I'm playing Annabelle Dawson. I'm a sophomore in Women and Gender Studies, and I'm looking forward to our spring break.
Thank you very much. Maitri, what will be your evilness today?
I am going to be Rosa Menendez. Pronouns are she, her. She is recently realized that maybe she likes women more than just friends, and she had a secret and torrid romance with her ex who told her about this crazy party that she's gonna go to, and Annabelle was nice enough to tell her about the same party. So she's tagging along with Annabelle to this party, and maybe her ex will be there.
Cheers. Levita.
I'm going to be playing Daisy Peterson, who is a pre-med student and is going to the party to find out some stuff and also to enjoy the party.
Fill up on drugs, as long as they're not vaccines, I take it.
Probably not, no.
As you can tell, if you listen to us, we are full anti-vax here. Just, do drugs, anti-vax, all the rest of it. And last but certainly not least, Jeff, who are you playing?
So I'm playing Buck Jones, and I'm glad y'all don't like vaxes, because I don't much care for them either. And pronouns, whatever. Call me. My name's Buck. Just call me my name. That's all we got to care about, okay? I don't want to hear nothing from you snowflakes.
So excited.
And if you couldn't tell before, no, I'm joking, because that's kind of basis. They all go to the University of Texas. You have had a rather average semester. Nothing too great, nothing too bad. It's time for a break. Annabelle found out about a party going on down in Ciudad Juarez, Ciudad. And being the lovely person she is, decided to invite you all down. So you head down south of the border into Mexico. The heat, I don't know, is there much difference between the heat between Texas and northern Mexico? Or is it pretty much, because there's no mountains or anything in between, so I don't think there'll be anything kind of stops them. So the heat will probably be oppressive, dry. You make your way to the bar that you were all to meet at. You have been set up with a guy there called Octavio, who will drive you to the party. $10 a person. Seems to be something fairly common. You see other kids have done it with other drivers. Quite a few. So, people you know from school, maybe, there's a couple. But lots of people you don't know. All getting into rather shabby-looking vans. Octavio has an old Chevy Econoline, 3500. As you get in, the seats are kind of busted. There's a flat tyre taking up the back row. There's dust all over the place. The van used to be white and now is kind of ruddy red. The music is, what's it called, Tejano music. He drives you out the city after you've had a little bit of time wandering about, having a drink, getting in the party mood, and out into the desert night. There's beers and coolers. Octavio's talkative. The accent is very minimal. He obviously talks to a lot of Americans, or a lot of tourists, being where he is. It's quite chatty. He jokes about the place, jokes about the van. So you all only here for the party?
Yeah, of course. It's gonna be great, right? That's what you told me. That's what everyone says.
The last one was, I think, a month ago. Wasn't as hot then, but yeah, kids seem to love this place. We can do with the money. Always nice to have a little bit of tourism. he looks at you, Annabelle, and he kind of smiles a smile you've seen on 100 men before. So, are you here with your boyfriend? He looks over at Buck.
Oh, you know.
Maybe we just keep this professional here. You're driving, just drive. We don't really need to kind of get to know to help too much. We're fine back here. Thank you very much.
See, senor.
Yeah, I don't speak the language. Sorry.
He turns the music up a little bit. The van picks up pace a little bit. Rosa, you get your phone out, scrolling through Instagram. You see Petra standing out in the streets of Paris, a beer in hand, face to the sky. She's looking kind of punky now, different from the last time you saw her. Underneath, "Party tonight" is the caption for it. What about you, Annabelle? After Buck jumping in, saving your honour as he might see it.
So after Buck sort of goes and sits down, Annabelle would kind of work her way back up to Octavio. I do apologize for him. He doesn't speak for all of us. We all speak for ourselves. I did want to ask you, though, and she kind of puts a hand on his shoulder a little bit. We've been able to get some, she sort of winks, provisions for the party, but I imagine that there's probably something local that you might have in that pocket of yours. And so she's kind of like reaching into kind of this cross-body purse that she's got, and so she's kind of reaching it to show that she's got some money to pay for any additional recreational items that he may have handy.
He laughs, hits at the glove box, and pulls out a joint. Well, you can have this for now, but the man who owns this place, he pays off the cartels. He is big money. He supplies parties. Everything free tonight. It's a shame I can't take part. Too much work to do. He lights the joint for you.
Oh, well, thank you. Free, though. Few things in life come free.
It's a little thank you for all the tourism. The boss man, he is very appreciative of everything that comes through here.
Well, I do believe that we will share our appreciation, and she'll take the joint from him.
These are your phone rings. It's your mum, Cassandra.
Oh, I better answer it then.
It's very loud in the van.
You're turning it down while I'm trying to, hear. And
Daisy? Where are you?
Mum, what is it? I'm going to a party.
Who are you going to the party with?
Just some friends from school.
And will there be alcohol at this party?
I mean, probably. We're all over 18.
21 in the US. Well, you're going to Mexico.
Shit. What country is this?
Well, I don't know what it is in Mexico, but in the US, so for your mother, it'll be...
Yeah, it is 21. I forgot that.
Look, it might be spring break, but you do know you have work to do.
Yeah, next week.
You'll never become a doctor with that attitude, darling.
All the other doctors I know spend their whole time in school doing all the stuff they tell other people not to do later on.
But you're breaking up.
I turn the phone off.
Van bumps over potholes as it goes. You see out in the window dust stirring up the sand. See bleached white bones. Annabelle in a very southern voice, sound angry, frustrated. You privileged bitch. You hear just as you're driving, just...
Pardon me?
Sorry?
Where... Someone said my name.
I didn't hear anything. Bounces again. Buck beer splashes onto your t-shirt and chest.
Oh, come on, not. Oh, dang it. He's got his burnt orange, hook 'em horns, Texas Longhorn shirt on. It's like, oh, man. God.
Oh, lo siento.
Watch the road there, Octavio.
It'll dry out.
Annabelle's going to go over to Buck. Oh, dear, it looks like you've got You should take that off. It looks very, you should just take that.
Yeah, you're right.
Off.
I could probably just, and so he's gonna pull his the shirt off and just kind of like, hey, Octavio, you got to open a window or something. I want to wring it out.
See, senor, the handle's there.
So he pulls his shirt off, and Buck is on an athletic scholarship, so he is he's pretty ripped, and he like he'll hold his hands out, and he kind of just squeezes just a little bit tighter, letting the muscles flex a little bit as he squeezes his shirt to get the beer up. Yeah, this happens all the time. Sometimes the heat, you just have to do what you got to do. Just got to keep things cool in here. That's all.
You should hold it out the window and just roll it up and just. I mean, it's so hot and dry out. It'll be dry by the time we get there.
Yeah, you're probably right. Hey, you gonna pass that, or are you just gonna kind of bogart that thing the whole time?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Here, and she'll pass it back.
And so he'll put it up to his lips. He'll put it's just, we're just passing like a joint, right? Yeah. So he'll put it up to his lips. Hey Octavio, you people put something a little extra in this, or is this just kind of pretty straightforward?
This is just straightforward.
It's just mom's homemade oregano.
Si, senor.
What does it mean? What do you say? And then he takes a little bit of it, and then he turns and he sees Daisy and whatever, but instead of giving it to them, he gives it right back to Annabelle. Like, here you go.
Oh well, thank you very much.
Oh, that's my pleasure. Anything. That's what gentlemen do. You hear that, Octavio? That's what gentlemen do.
Of course they do. Maybe you hear someone whisper under his breath, but you don't quite catch it.
What was that?
The car bumps along. He just laughs, turns up the music again.
Annabelle is going to, now that she has the joint back, she's going to go over to Rosa, and she'll pass over to her.
Who at this point has kind of leaned over to Buck, like, hey, you got anything stronger for this party?
To Buck?
To Buck.
He kind of takes a look at you. He's like, none at the moment. What's it, Senorita? But maybe a little later we'll find something. Just, we'll stay patient.
You're not caring. You
don't want to just kind of shoot your wad on the ride here.
I guess.
I understand getting pumped, kind of getting that kind of the head start. But let's, it's a long night, Just calm down, wet your whistle. That sort of thing.
She kind of rolls her eyes and leans back.
He does not even notice that. He just assumes you accepted his wisdom.
And acknowledges Annabelle.
Here.
Oh, thank you.
And then she'll lean in to Rosa and say, so I talked to Octavio up there, and he said that once we get to the party, everything's free.
That's fantastic.
So be careful, though. Be careful, though. Pace yourself and check in with me.
No, I will, but, you can do better, right? And she's, gesturing to Buck behind him.
I agree. This isn't that great, Octavia. You got anything better up there? Come on, man. This is what do you think we are, middle school?
He laughs and puts his foot on the pedal. You notice, all of you, the cell signal's starting to get a bit patchy. It's finally gone. Not long after that, you pull up with a massive, an old 60s style factory. With a couple of levels. I put a map in row 20 just for the layout of it. So I might ping there. The van pulls up just right outside. You see collapsed buildings surrounding the factory. Or not surrounding the factory, but in the area surrounding the factory. You can smell burning from somewhere. You can hear music, just almost as if it's coming up out of the ground. Very heavy bass as you approach it. A couple of are still standing. You see some other vans. Must have been there for a while. You didn't see them on the road. With people that are not unsimilar to Octavio. Some of them standing around talking.
So, as we're outside, if we're getting out of the van at this point, like I think what Buck is going to do is he's going to get his. I like to imagine he had a Texas Longhorns burnt orange hook 'em horns kind of shirt.
Yeah.
That's now been ruined. And so he's going to just sort of like fold that up and put it into the back pocket of his jeans like it's a Bruce Springsteen album. And then I also imagine, because this is how all Texas Longhorns fans appear to me, is he's going to have some kind of like leather vest. And he's just going to put that on raw right over top of his his well-maintained body. And so that's what his and he's going to turn around. He's going to open. He's going to like hold the door open for Annabelle. And he's like, hey, it's after you, man. And then once she goes, like, let go of the door when the other two try to get out or something like that.
Rose is like immediately behind. Like, Jesus, Buck, what the fuck?
What? What's that? What the fuck, Buck? That's what the boys call me on the team.
Jesus Christ.
As you say that, Buck, you hear a very sweet, feminine voice in your ear saying, "You're pathetic, limp dick."
Limp dick? What? I ain't got no limp dick.
A few people turn to look at you.
What?
What? If it's like random people, he's like, what? I said it.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, Rosa's right behind you. He's like, what?
I know which one of you said, I ain't got no limp dick.
No one said you had a limp dick.
I didn't say anything.
Damn right they didn't, because there ain't no reason to say that.
And Annabelle's going to look up to Daisy. Was it you?
Daisy just got out of the car last. No, I just only just got out of the car.
Was it you?
I don't even know Buck.
Door in the front slams. Octavio comes round. I'll be here at dawn for you.
Well, thank you for getting us here safely.
He smiles at you. Annabelle leans in, takes the joint from you, if you've still got it.
Oh.
Look forward to seeing you then.
Oh, we were just borrowing this. Oh, okay.
There's plenty more inside.
Well, all right. We will see you in the morning then.
Have fun.
And Annabelle sort of puts a hand a little bit to Buck's arm and just sort of looks at Daisy. And it's just sort of that look of like she's taken like
he smiles.
Just looks to Daisy to see if Daisy gets the message.
Kind of like nods. Message has been received.
And Buck flexes a little bit too. Sorry, Daisy.
You see people milling about. They enter. A couple of guys wearing black, long sleeves. It's quite chilly outside, actually. It's getting cold. It's the desert, it's nighttime. And it's cool outside, you feel the heat coming from inside. The thumping bass, you hear people laughing, talking extremely loudly. You see small groups of people outside having a cigarette or smoking something else. As you walk in through the doors, exactly to the right, there is a table filled with drugs. You see a woman face down to it, and you hear this snort as she pulls a great big line. She looks up, face still has cocaine on it, her dress is unbuttoned down, showing her cleavage.
Rosa beelines to them.
She looks at Buck, winks, and blows him a kiss.
Mm-hmm.
You can see that her mouth's still dusted in coke.
Big smile. All right. And I'm gonna say he also has a cowboy hat, because why not? And so he's gonna put that on, like, let's get her started. And he's gonna like gallop on over. But like hold a hand, like kind of keep his arm there for Annabelle to see if she'll like the kind of the classic gentlemanly thing. And I know you said it's cold, but I'm gonna say he's still shirtless with the vest.
It's warm when you go in. The heat of the people.
Yeah.
There's a furnace in there somewhere. That's where the smell of the smoke's coming from.
Mm-hmm. I think he's just probably radiating heat too, because he's a.
Of course.
When he got out of the car, the nipples became diamonds. Cutting glass.
Yeah.
Now they're starting to, mail out a little bit, but...
Should I put that on my sheet as a weapon? Because I feel like it'd be piercing.
Yeah, that'd be 2 + 2 harm, definitely.
Yeah. Dual wield these suckers. Look out.
People are having fun everywhere. You see people making out in the corner. You see that you've got this main bit of floor. People seem to be hanging around talking. Off to the right, there's the dance floor where the DJ is. You see one guy just motor-mouthing away at the DJ. The DJ's got his hands on his headphones, just ignoring him completely. If anyone survives, by the way, that guy will be the one surviving because I love him. He's just off his head and does not care. You can see a staircase off to the side leading up to where those 2 brews are standing outside of, so it's quite obvious, some kind of office, something like that. There are a couple more men standing down at the bottom, seeming to keep an eye on things. They're quite obviously armed. But you're here. You see drinks being passed out, drugs being passed out, people are dancing, there's people probably in the darkness seeing probably fucking at the back. The thing is going wild and it's barely even started. It's only about 10 or 11 at night. What do you want to do?
Rosa's gone to the drug table and is kind of helping herself to like a smattering of whatever's available. And with every... I mean, she's still very closeted about being queer, but with every little bit of more drugs she takes, she is increasingly less discreet about eyeing this woman's cleavage.
She smiles at you as well. And then she's off dancing.
She gives her what she thinks is a shy smile, but is probably quite lascivious.
She crooks her finger at you as she heads off to the dance floor. You see her dancing with absolute abandon. There's not a good dancer whatsoever, but she is enjoying the fuck out of it.
Rosa heads over to join her.
So you head off to join her, the rest are getting to the table. Very large guy, 6 foot, with a taller guy behind him. First time at one of our parties?
Yes, it is. Where should we start?
Well, everything here is free, and he puts his hand, just for a second, on Buck's shoulder. Shouldn't overdo things, of course.
Overdo it? Fella, you don't understand what overdoing it means. He's just kind of like holding himself up as if his body is an explanation that he's fine.
Who has the best was it perception? What the fuck's it called? I've forgotten.
If it's perception, observe a situation, I've got 3.
Rosa, you've already won off. Who's got the best perception out of Annabelle and Daisy?
Got it.
2 for Annabelle, for perception.
Give me observe a situation, please.
All right, that is a 12.
So it says you can ask me questions about a current situation, but it's just something to give you there. So it's a success with complications. You notice as the guy puts his hand on Buck's shoulder, he gives a little nod to the other guy, the taller guy, who nods back just microscopically. So here you can ask one of the questions that are listed there. So, well, what's currently the biggest threat? What can I use to my advantage? Blah, blah. If you can think of something else, that would be a question you would ask given that knowledge.
Okay, so I'm seeing these 2 guys kind of nod to each other.
Yeah, so just the hand goes on to Buck's shoulder, and then there's this little nod that goes between them as the guy passes it off as, don't overdo it.
Okay, so I'm wondering, one of the questions is, what should I be on the lookout for? So I'm kind of looking to see if anyone else seems to be watching these 2 folks.
There's no, what should we be looking for? So no one else is watching them, but once the nod's gone, you can see that the bigger one is back to eyeing everyone at the party. His eyes do not stop moving. Maybe some kind of bouncer. Well, I mean, they are big, they obviously work here too. But that nod seemed to pass some information.
Okay, looking at these questions. And so I get 1 question, or how many questions do I get?
Yeah, you get 1 question from there.
Okay.
But anything, if you want to do anything else here, you'll get a +1 to your roll there. And remember, you can also embellish it, so narrate what's going into your rolls or what comes out of them as well. So feel free to do so. The guy starts handing out little packs. He says, here's some tests. If you want to test any of the drugs you get for purity, please feel free to do so. The boss has never skimped on anything, so don't worry too much.
Are we going to be meeting this boss tonight? Is he going to make a late appearance at some point?
Almost certainly. You see him, he looks up at the office. Says that'll be down when he's ready. He likes to say thank you personally.
Very nice. Very nice. And she sort of gives Buck a little wink and then moves off to the bar on her own.
Okay. If that's the case, then Buck will peruse very quickly the offerings at the table, looking for a particular brand of he's the coke that's interesting and everything, but he's looking more for his preferred flavor of meth, and he's looking to see if there's any of that here.
There is definitely meth there. I have no idea how meth comes. I know it's just little white crystals. You don't really get meth over here much. But yeah.
We have a ton of it here in Arizona, don't worry.
We have a ton of it.
I mean, not us personally, you know.
But in the
But the state.
I mean, it's been Christmas, right?
I mean, we're both on meth right now. So
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's how it goes. No, there's several little bags. I don't know if it makes a difference from where it comes or what
Okay.
drinks are. Ask me about ecstasy or acid or something, much easier to go for. Not that I would do that sort of thing. But yeah, there's a couple of other people there. You're able to talk to someone if you want to. All generally bigger guys as well, same as you.
Okay, he'll kind of shrug off the hand, like he's not gonna do anything. Like he bristled a little bit from this like dude putting his hand on him, but he'll like quickly like grab some bags of meth, and then he'll step away, and then step back and grab like 2 more bags and just start shoving them down his pockets here and there. And then he'll look at these bouncers, and I essentially just want to kind of like assess him, because you said like they're like 6'1" and such, because like Buck is a athlete at the University of Texas, and they make them big in the heart of the country, especially in Texas. I feel like 6'1", he would probably almost look down on them to a degree. What do you think?
One is 6 and the other one's 6'6".
Okay, well 6'6", that's a little different.
The one that put the hand on the shoulder is 6. The other one's a bit further away.
So he'll look at the one who's a little bit smaller and just sort of dismiss him out of hand, like, okay, buddy, you keep trying. And then he'll look at the 6'6" guy, and he'll just try to size him up. And you know, he's not at that point yet where he just is going to pick a fight, but like he's just he just is just a note for later. He's put in the back of like trying to get an assess of like is he carrying, like do they have like weapons on him? Is it clear?
You can give me a perception as well. Observe a situation.
All right.
Or if you want, read a person. Choose what's better for you.
Got it. I'm mainly looking to see if they have weapons on them that would make it more difficult if it came to it. If I had to set them straight.
Observe a situation. Yeah.
Observe a situation. Got it. All right. Here we go. 13.
13. So that is a full success, isn't it? Yeah.
Success with complications.
I forgot about that. It's 15. So you want to know first of all if they're carrying weapons. They both seem to you to be doing so. They're wearing all black. The lighting's not great, but you definitely looks like you see a bulge. One at the back has it at their back. You see as they turn round, and another one might be wearing a shoulder holster of some kind, but it doesn't look very bulky. But you can take one of the questions there as well.
All right. So then I guess. I mean, nothing seems strange about like 2 bouncers with guns and everything and all that kind of stuff. That all seems pretty straightforward. So I guess like, what about looking at the 6'6" guy, especially the bigger guy? What can I use to my advantage if I happen to have to get into a rumble with him? If the situation presented itself, if he said something, if he made eyes at Annabelle or something like that, what would I use to my advantage in a fight against him? Is he limping a little bit, or does he have does it look like his shoulder is like maybe like a little sore or something? Or
you don't see him limp, but you do notice that unlike the others, he tends to lean against whatever he can while he's standing.
Okay. All right.
So you think maybe he's got an injury, or maybe it's just not as strong in his feet. He's a very, very big guy, but everyone else he's attentive with his eyes, but everyone else is attentive with their full body.
And so as Buck reaches back and grabs his extra 2, and he just like passes by the 6'1" guy, because that guy's not in Buck's league.
Yeah.
He'll just like chuckle and he'd be like, bigger they are, the harder they fall. Ain't that right, buddy? And like elbow him like kind of like jovially, and then try to follow Annabelle is what I think what he would do.
You feel as if it's rock as your elbow touches him. He looks at you. He doesn't grin. Just takes you in for the split second and then goes back to watching over everyone else. Doesn't say a thing.
So then Buck will just do like a or something like that, and then he'll scream out like, "Let's get on some outlaw country!" As he yells up, and then he looks for Annabelle.
Rosa, what about you? You followed this woman in green who is, enjoying her dancing, rubbing up towards you, moving away, smiling, just rubbing her nose about every 3 seconds. Place is getting fuller.
I think the drugs are starting to hit her, and she's just she's trying to follow this woman and is dancing, I think, quite physically, and things are ramping up in terms of like physicality and sexuality and that kind of thing.
Out the corner of your eye, you see Petra. She's dancing with a guy and a girl, puts her arms around both, starts kissing each of them in turn.
Excuse me. And without waiting for a response, she turns and leaves to Petra.
Rosa catches a glimpse of you, takes her arms away from the other two. Rosa!
What the hell are you doing here?
Your mouth is suddenly filled with her tongue.
And she shoves her off.
Oh, don't be like that, baby.
What the fuck are you doing here?
I'm partying.
No.
Didn't think you'd be here.
You weren't supposed to be here. That's why I'm here.
Come on, come dance with me.
Fuck off.
She laughs and turns around and goes back to the other two who are also laughing or kissing each other.
You know what? Just have fun. Have fun. And she turns on her heel. And she goes back to the drug table.
the fucked up green woman, the woman in green is still happily, she barely even missed that you were gone and tries to kiss you when you come back. She is just, she's completely fucked. At some point she whispers a name to you, but you're not sure what it is.
She's not really registering, she's very pissed and just is heading to the table with all the drugs and is going to do more drugs.
Daisy, what about you? What are you doing?
Daisy kind of looks over the stuff at the drugs table and takes one of the purity tests for later, but doesn't take anything and kind of just wanders off, looks around the venue a little bit, and then goes towards the bar and gets a drink. She's kind of keeping an eye out, looking for just notable people, anyone she might recognise later. So I've clocked the woman in green and just looking at the various other people that are around, seeing the armed guys, absolute built brick shit houses, and just kind of getting a sense of who's there, who's not there, who might not be there later.
As you approach the bar, you see a guy. He's not quite dressed in a suit, but you can tell he's dressed up. Looks like a fairly expensive watch. Obviously a Latino guy. And he eyes you up as you come over. What are you drinking tonight?
I think vodka. And Coke, please.
You're not partaking from the party favours? We brought them all the way here.
Oh yeah, I'm going to pace myself.
He gets up the bartender's eye and gets your vodka and Coke. So, what brings you here? Not enough parties over in the US of A?
Oh, you've got to check out all the things available to you, right?
He smiles. You're right to that. So, why are you not taking anything? He laughs.
I'm a medical student. Well, pre-med. I don't want to jump straight into all this stuff. I haven't had many drugs before, okay?
Ah, very clever, very clever. You see, we brought these for the man, and it would be an insult to me if you didn't try at least something.
Yeah, later, okay?
Then how about we just go for a dance, little lady?
Let me have the drink first and then we'll see.
He laughs, knocks back here, another drink. Buck, you have accrued a hanger-on, big-breasted, blonde. She is out of her head. She is. You can see when you first saw her, she had a hand in a bowl of Xanax that was on one of the tables.
Okay.
She keeps trying to speak to you in Spanish and English, neither very well. His words are completely slurred, but you can tell she's trying to get in your pants.
Okay. And any other night maybe, but like for him, he's just kind of sort of stiff arming her, like he's playing like his sport, because I don't know which sport he plays. He's Texas Longhorn, so it's probably either football or rodeo. Like I would assume like those are the sports in Texas, right? So like
synchronized swimming.
It's a very live and tan body, very graceful. So he's like, oh, okay, yeah, no speaker, whatever, no, down. And he's looking at,
you're hot and I'm hot, and says something, no idea what it is.
Well, that's true, but there are a lot of folks here that are hot. Hey, Annabelle, hey, yoo-hoo, where you at?
You've been listening to Tales of Myth and Mayhem. You can find all the links to find us in the description. Hope you enjoyed yourself.